This, I believe, lesson 11. And today we'll look at another student example from a past fifth grader. We'll look at our planning or outline sheet, and we'll look at the rubric. So here's our example. This, I believe. Have you ever thought of something that is so creative? Have you ever had ideas that are out of the park fantastic? That creative thing and idea is imagination. I believe in imagination because it is the most creative thing you can ever treasure. First, I believe in imagination because whatever you see or think can be anything you want. For example, if you see a lizard, you can imagine it as a giant instead of a little tiny itty bitty thing. Also, if you see something dull, you can imagine that it is something bright and colorful. For example, if you see people in the world who aren't the brightest in your imagination, they are a lot brighter. These examples can help you be a good and better person because it gives you hope while you can have fun. In addition, imagination can also take you to talking to stuffed animals. When I was young, I had a stuffed animal. He was a dog. He was orange and his name was Dodgy. He was one of my favorite and loved stuffed animals I ever had. I knew he was alive with the heart beating. For Christmas, I got a little bag for his stocking and I put toys in it for him. After he received the toys, he said to me, "I love them." Finally, imagination also helps our world solve big problems like cancer, global warming, etc. If doctors or scientists or even young kids with such unlimited imagination, we wouldn't have ideas how to cure big things like cancer. Imagination doesn't only give you ideas, it gives you hope for a miracle. Without imagination, we wouldn't have electric cars, lights, mechanical pencils, computers, etc. In conclusion, without imagination, we couldn't have problem-solving skills, making something bright in our world, or even talking to your stuffed animals. Also, people in the world are not as colorful as your imagination. You won't be able to have fun and you won't even have ideas. Imagination gives you hope and understanding to what things are and to how things work in the world. This, I believe. All right, so that's a fifth grade example from a past student. This is a sheet. I've included a copy of it in the files that you can open up. You might want to draw your own that looks something like this. So thesis statement, that's where you're kind of doing your opening paragraph, and this is where you tell what you believe in. So what's your value? So the value. All right. And then the body. These are going to be your three supporting stories. That's an R. Remember, those tie in with your value. Remember, one value. You're only going to do one value. Okay. And in your three supporting stories, you want to remember things like your it happened in the past. So make sure past verb tense. Include struggles or challenges. It includes good descriptive word choice. It should have a lesson or could have a lesson. Maybe not every story does, but maybe one of the three or two of them. And remember, it's told in first person. You're telling the story about you. All right. It doesn't have this on here, but your closing paragraph tells why the value is important. So I'll put that down here. Closing paragraph tells why the value is important. So this is like we've done for the whole year. This is a place for you to go ahead and come up with your Freds, your three main stories. These are actually your little Fredlets. So I would call this Fred 1, Fred 2, Fred 3, Fredlets, Fredlets, Fredlets for each of your story. And what are going to be the details of your story? Okay. And then our third thing is going to be the rubric. This is what we're going to be looking at when we are grading your This I Believe essay. So we're going to be looking at overall structure, 2s, 3s, and 4s. I'm not expecting anybody to get 1s on this essay. Your introduction, okay. So again, I've included a copy of this, so I'm not going to read through this with each one of these right now. You can go ahead and go look at the copy and be able to read, like, these are the things I need to do in order to get a 4. These are the basics. This is what a regular 5th grade student should definitely be doing. We're going to be looking at the body, the middle 3 paragraphs. Supporting stories are so well written that the reader feels emotional while reading them. The stories are very different from one another, yet each story still supports the topic or the same value. All right. The conclusion is incredible. It is very impressive how you brought all of your thoughts together to tie in your belief, your topic or value. The essay ends with the words, "This I believe." The reader is so satisfied that the reader demands more. Voice. Word choice is outstanding. The vocabulary is above grade level. The descriptions and phrases are unique. It felt like it was written by a professional. Proofreading. There are no mistakes for a 4. There should not be any of those little underlined blue or red words. Presentation. It has a title. It won't be handwritten because you're going to be typing it up to send to me. Okay. It does not need to have a nice border or illustrations. It's just formatted is correctly. In other words, you have your paragraphs correctly. And it doesn't have to have the pictures. So this one is a little different, the presentation. I'm just looking to make sure you've got your 5 paragraphs, you've indented them correctly, and that you have done a little bit of this kind of thing, that you spelled everything right and that kind of thing. So that's the rubric we're using, we're looking at. And again, go through, look through. And today you should go ahead and start working on your outline or your plan sheet, which would be this sheet right here. Again, you can draw your own and fill in your own. You can organize yours differently if you have a different way you'd rather organize it. It's just fine. Do what works for you.